Well, hello everyone. So, hope the integration is going well. So, good news. Looks like a lot of clearing had happened. Those 3 pages of downloads have gone in very, very well. And I could feel it in the solar plexus area in every one of you, where there's some level of boost of energy or self empowerment is starting to grow or has expanded. If you're not feeling that yet, that means you need to rest a little bit more. I just heard someone's spirit guide or guides, so I'm hearing about 5 or 6 of you. So that's half the people in the circle have not taken enough time to rest and fully integrate, to allow those downloads to really go into your bones and into every single cell in your body. So if you did go out or got distracted with a to-do list or anything else, that distracted you from the integration. So do take a few hours out sometime today or sometime this week. I'm hearing at least before Wednesday. So those downloads could really go in a little deeper. And even if you feel like you've done enough rest to allow that integration to happen, you might want to just rest up a little bit longer. So someone else's spirit guide stepped in and just channeled that. My body's heating up and I'm sweating like crazy again. So that's a big yes, a hell yes from your spiritual team saying you all need to rest more, to allow these integrations to go in, to allow those manifestations to really develop more. And in order for it to develop more, you need that rest. So do keep that in mind. And I just heard Spirit Guide say, yeah, I think we're done with talking about rest. But I did see some cards in here that do speak to that. So if you did not register that message that was just channeled, you are going to be smacked again with that message later. So starting with the cards, the top cards, the moon cards, talk about the energy that's coming in. The middle row talks about the virtues or lessons you're learning throughout the next few weeks. And the bottom row cards there are spirit animals wanting to give you assurance or a little bit more guidance on how to balance all that inner and external shifts that are happening. So we'll start with the moon cards at the top. So expect a powerful change. Wow. Really good. So that's why the integration part is so important, the creator is saying, or else you're not well rested enough to be ready for that powerful change or shift to happen. But it will happen eventually. So let's say you keep procrastinating on the integration part or the resting part, and you just keep procrastinating a little bit more. That means you're just going to stretch out your divine timing a little longer. It's just going to be extended, and things might not manifest as quickly for you. So again, going back to that message, rest, or else the integration cannot happen for you to power up enough to be ready for that powerful change. So, and then I think the next card really just speaks to the rest. So take time to breathe out. I'm hearing intervals of rest. For some of you, you might just need to take an entire day or an entire evening to rest, and that should be enough. But for some of you who tend to be really sensitive to Spirit's energy and really sensitive to energy healing, you're going to need a much longer integration time. So that means you may need to actually stretch out your resting or integration phase over a course of a week. So maybe take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And just have that really focused on resting or reflecting and journaling everything that you saw and experienced in the new moon circle. So however rest and integration looks and feels like to you, and however you are able to accommodate that, and you'll know when you've rested enough, because you're going to have a major surge in energy, focus, and clarity. So that's the sure sign that you have integrated enough and rested enough. So as you have this surge of energy and you really start to go at at the to-do list or the planning phase of creating your manifestation, because we sent out the energy of it. Now we have to do the human thing. We have to actually act on them. So your commitment might be tested, and that's what the next card talks about. So sometimes when we energetically and really feel this is what we want, in the 3D world, on the earth world, we might just do stuff based on our subconscious, our fears, but not realizing that it's not quite aligned with the energy or the manifestation that we have put out. So when you get tested, take a moment to pause and go, why is this stalled? Why am I not acting on this? Why am I procrastinating? And then the more you dig and find the fear and call that fear out, because when you call that fear out, you're also calling yourself out. And don't worry, we did a download, I believe, about being able to course correct and make adjustments without feeling guilty or ashamed or beating ourselves up. So you have that download. So you know that when you call yourself out, you can see what the repeated cycle or behavior has been in your life, or perhaps in your ancestral lines, and make adjustments, make corrections. You also have a download of that, I heard the creator say, and it was actually part of the bonus download, I heard. So when you're being tested, ask yourself what's really going on here. And you can ask your spirit guides, send me signs, symbols, omens, or show me in my dream state what it is that this challenge is trying to teach me. And the quickest way to overcome any sort of a challenge is to ask yourself, what am I learning? Sorry, stumbled on the word quick there because another spirit guide stepped in. So we have someone else channeling now, and I felt myself sweat like crazy. So whoever the spirit guide is, and the spirit guide belongs to someone in the circle, is quite powerful. He was a shaman in his lifetime here on earth. So that's all that this guide wants to say about himself. So continuing on. So the final card here is you are good enough. So you already have all the downloads you need. And you already have all the skills, knowledge, wisdom that you need. So you don't need something else in order to get whatever that you want to get. So if you're feeling like, oh, I don't have that skill, or maybe I don't, I need to take that course, or I need to do this or that in order to get that, let's say, relationship, they're saying, no, you're already good enough, right? So again, there's that part where you are beating yourself up, like, I'm not enough, I need to level up in some way. But Spirit's saying, no, you already have enough as you are right now. So knowing that, what are you going to do next? Plan it out, do it, act on it. Damn it. There's quite a few spirit guides here who are very impatient and a little frustrated with some of you. So do get on with that to-do list so you start planning and acting on them and make your way towards that manifested goal. So the next row of cards here talk about, sorry, I had to exhale because that spirit guide stepped out and a female one stepped in. So transformation, stillness, leadership, and potential. So this is what you're all learning. In regards to transformation, they are saying you're noticing that you are responding to the healing, the downloads, and the way you need to integrate is changing. So please accommodate that. And if you feel more tired than usual, they're saying avoid taking that extra cup of coffee. And as soon as I said that, my spirit guide jabbed me with his elbow. Yes, I know I like coffee, but I only drink 2 cups of it every day. So I think I'm doing good for coffee. But when you're integrating and you find yourself tired or you're feeling like you're not yourself, again, it goes back to not beating yourself up. Recognize and acknowledge that you have matured spiritually, and now with that spiritual maturation comes with a different way of feeling spirit, even different signs from Spirit that's going to come to you, and you're going to interpret signs from Spirit a little differently. So for some of you, I'm hearing claircognizance is going to open up and clairvoyance is going to open up. So clairvoyance is all about seeing images in your eye, and that shows you the essence of the message. Claircognizance is drops of information, the sense of knowing, like, oh, I know that's going to happen, or oh, I know I need to do this. I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to do this. So listen to those drops of information that pops into you. So this transformation is going to be about that. Your connection to Spirit's going to change. How you integrate is also going to change. So it goes back again to rest. So third time, you guys, third time that this message about resting is coming up. So you might need to rest more. And from personal experience, I can say that as my connection with Spirit deepens, sometimes I do need an extra day of rest, because now I can open up quicker and a lot more efficiently. And so because of that speed of opening up, I need at least a few days of really grounding and closing down that connection so I can continue with my day and be human and not resort to coffee, says my spirit guide. Some of you may be taking in too much caffeine. So really support this transformation and know that you're responding differently now. For some of you, you are closing a spiritual cycle and about to enter into a brand new one. Some of you are about a third into your new spiritual cycle. And when we're in new spiritual cycles like that, we're growing in a different way, learning in a different way, communicating with Spirit in a different way. So your need to integrate and rest will shift and change. So again, that word integration keeps getting smacked in my face by Spirit. So pay attention to that. How do you need to integrate this time? What has worked for you in the past and what's not working for you anymore? So take stock of how to care for yourself. Speaking of how to care for yourself, stillness comes in again, which resonates with take time to breathe out card. So be very still. They're saying there's too much of the energy of hustle that our bodies are really absorbing every day as soon as we get up, and then to the time we go to sleep at night. So they are wanting you to be conscious of how everyone's energy, the external hustle and bustle, is affecting you. And make sure that you do take that time out, go into hermit mode, be still, and really take that time to breathe out so you could disconnect your energy from the outside world. And in those moments, little brief minutes, I'm hearing, of integration could happen, because you're creating that opening for integration to come through when you take those times out for yourself. The next two cards, leadership and potential, want to talk together. And this card is really going or connecting with the card you are good enough. So they want you to look at your skill set right now. What have you learned so far? Any wisdom, knowledge, insights that you have gained up until this moment, and know that that's enough to create more potential. So potential for more abundance to come in, potential for more opportunities to come in. I'm being shown that last scene in Dumb and Dumber again. That seems like Spirit's favorite movie, isn't it? So they're saying, don't worry, we did downloads and releases around that. So when a lucky break comes, you could jump right on the chance. And those lucky breaks will actually give you opportunities to step into leadership. So when they say leadership, for some of you, it may mean leading something, like a project or a group of people. But leadership also means being in your power. And by being in your power and being confident in your power, that other people are inspired by your energy. And that in itself is leadership, because you're a living example of how to live life authentically and truthfully. So for all that to manifest for you and more abundance to come, you need to rest and integrate. So fourth, I don't know, I lost count, fifth time that message about rest is coming up. So I think this is the first time when messages have been coming up like this, at least more than 5 times. So that means Spirit is saying it's so important to rest. And some of you are actually avoiding it because at some level, at the subconscious, it's afraid of the major changes that could come. So if you find yourself avoiding rest, or you have a self-talk of, I don't have time for rest, I don't have time to relax, look into where those belief systems are rooted from. And I heard someone's spirit guide go, parents. So look into that. What were the ancestral belief systems about work and rest? Did they feel they were deserving of rest when it was needed? So going now into the spirit animal cards here. So the horse spirit is saying the freedom is yours. So you're not chained down to those old subconscious belief systems from your ancestors about work and rest and anything else. I'm hearing that a lot of those belief systems were released about certain systems or society or hierarchies that limit you or predestine you to some sort of an abundance outcome. So that was all released. So now freedom is yours. So you've manifested what you wanted to bring in. So now act on it. And I keep seeing a journal and a list. So there's some importance here of creating that list, actually planning this all out, so that all that manifested things that you did in that pyramid actually happen. I'm just tuning into what else they want to say. No, but the whale spirit is coming in and saying, trust the great mystery. So really trust things that happen for you in terms of divine detours. So that goes up to the blocks that Spirit was speaking about in the card, your commitment is being tested. Maybe it's a learning opportunity. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to really allow and trust the universe and go, okay, maybe I'm forcing this to happen and I'm not flowing. So knowing the difference between force and flow is the virtue or the lesson that you will be learning in the next few weeks. And again, this only goes to a handful of you. So the mouse spirit is saying tend to the small things. And again, it goes back to creating that list. And another thing here, they're saying attend to the small things refer to even just clearing out the clutter in your space, because for some of you, there are old objects or items in your home that's holding really old energy from the past, and it's actually chaining you from moving forward. So if you have kept, I don't know, old love letters from a past boyfriend or girlfriend, you might want to get rid of that because that energy might be blocking future partner from coming in. So do walk around your house, take stock of what's there and go, what's blocking the energy there? I'm hearing go through the garage or go through your storage to see what other things you could just let go, so you could open up the space for better things to come in. So those are the small things, just really decluttering. I just saw a big, huge truck back into one of your homes. So one of you will need to hire a truck to literally let go of all those things that are no longer serving you, which is great because possibly 3 truckloads full of wonderful things could come to you. Because as I mentioned at the beginning of the circle, we had one page full of negative beliefs to release, which were root belief systems, and then 3 pages of positive downloads. So when the ratio is 1 to 3, it's actually a divine number saying, when you let go of one thing, 3 times more of a good thing will come in. So wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. So as you plan your future and you start to doubt yourself, go back and reflect in your past. How did I overcome that in the past? Was that a positive response to that challenge or a negative response? If it was a positive response, great, I could do that, but maybe better, and ask my spirit team to teach me. If it was a negative response, then how could I have done things differently now that I know better and I have more wisdom and knowledge? So look into that. The Creator is really giving a lot of advanced techniques and tips in this integration reading, because a lot of you have worked with me for quite some time. So if any of those tips from Spirit and the Creator call to you, go for it, because it may really help with the manifestation to happen quicker. So that is all that they want to say in this part 1 of the integration reading, and I will see you in part 2.